Hi, beautiful people. I am so happy to welcome you back to the Sacred Travel Podcast. And this episode, or the content of this episode, was a real surprise to me because I have just recently returned from the Red Sea with my family, with my husband and his kids. And, I had planned in to make this a beautiful transmission from the Red Sea, like channeled messages and everything. But of course, as so often, Spirit had different plans. And that's why today you are receiving the transmission from the Red Sea, but it is much different than what I had thought it would be. So, I'm going to speak today about how to make each travel experience that we are on a sacred one. And by sacred, I mean conscious in a way of like not checking out into a tourist mode. And I'm just using the term for like lack of better wording. I will explain a little bit later, but it's not that I'm coming from any kind of judgment. It's more like the level of consciousness that we choose to engage with the land, and also with the people and the activities. And so we had this, one week that was a dedicated beach holiday, actually. But and for people who know me, like I always like to go deep. And I cannot just go to Egypt with like not connecting to the land. And it's interesting also because there has been this pattern in a way that I tend to return every half year, kind of. And for me, it seemed that the time at the Red Sea was really also a personal integration for the time that I had spent on pilgrimage with Sarah Naya Soleil last December. And so I knew that like going back to these lands and the sand and the water, there were so many codes that just were waiting to be retrieved. While at the same time, I also knew that this is the family holiday. So I will not have time like to sit in meditation all day. I will not have time for extensive rituals and like commune with the water and everything. So all of that has to happen in a way, on the go, or maybe a little bit more undercover and in disclosure as usually. And so we can feel pressured from time to time, or we can feel that, oh, okay, I see that there is either this experience or there is that experience. And I want to tell you today, I just want to open your heart and open your mind and see if you can come into that perspective that actually both is possible. So we live in this both and rather than the either or. And so, we embarked on this 1 week beach holiday. It was actually just so damn hot that there wasn't much to do anyways, because like after 9 o'clock in the morning, it was just like unbearable if you did not stay close enough to the water, which was equally beautiful. And I would say, just like a regular, and again, I'm using the term here, like tourist, if you are in a touristy area, I mean, we had a super nice hotel, staff was amazing, and also the food was very nice. It was an all-inclusive hotel because also we like to choose it, just for the means of comfort, and especially going with kids, so you don't have to worry about it and everything is kind of like covered. And I also feel that sometimes within these settings, you get people or behavior that is a bit questionable, maybe, or interesting. And of course, they try to make the like these activities for tourists. There was a camel at the beach that you could ride, and they had even like, yeah, some sort of diapers or so wrapped around it because they did not want to poop it on the beach, and all of these things where you're like, okay, well, this is not actually what I want to be choosing, but I see that it is there. And what I did instead of going into the judgment mode is I blessed it. And I, especially when there is activities with animals involved, which we also did one, then I just sent so much love and so much energy to these beings. Yeah, rather than going into judging the people who are seeking out this experience. And there is, of course, many different ways how you can do it. There is no right or wrong. I'm not even saying that what I'm doing is right, but this is just my way of contributing to, let's say, the situation. So anyways, my point is that, there is all of these, even like name it outward distractions that you get to have when you are a tourist and when you are on holiday. And there is loud music and yeah, all of these things. You can, of course, like get alcohol 24/7 if you choose to do so, and have these distractions available. And I could curse it, I could judge it, and I could choose this experience, which of course that was a reality. But what I also did is I chose a different reality. And so I really tried to turn on what I call, or what actually the ancient Egyptians knew as the net. And it is basically a so everything is connected, right? Everything is energy, and we are connected with everything, every living being, whether this is plants, animals, other people. There is these invisible threads, almost like when you look on the earth and you have these meridians. It's the same for us. Like we are all intricately interconnected through this web or net. And everything that we do, every action, but also every emotion, every thought that is a frequency is being sent into the net. And it's kind of like this holographic, like Matrix movie thing that you can imagine it like this. And you can mold and you can inform and you can actually manipulate, like speaking in a not in a manipulating in a way that you use it for yourself, but manipulating in the way that you can give love into that and you can give good intentions into it, so that everything and everyone who is also connected to this net is being informed on some level, whether conscious or unconscious. And so, yeah, I started to really see this. And I also, every morning when we got up and got to breakfast, I was really invoking that net. And so when I met people that were staff that were like cleaning our room, or the waiters, I tried to connect from a very deep heart area and just like giving them so much kindness and really thanking them, whether this is explicitly like voicing it or just like showing up in that open, open-minded, open-hearted, and like seeing this connection and seeing what they are doing for us, for me, and giving back that, yeah, that kindness and compassion and love in a way. And the same for our family constellation, which I want to say also is not, or was not, such an easy one in a way. And of course, when you go on vacation, like with three teenagers, there is a lot of just like 3D quarrels or discussions or different interests that you are handling. And so every morning and every evening when it would happen that we sit down at the table for food, I would basically also invoke a geometric structure for us and like keep us grounded and guarded in this pyramid shape actually that I'm using. And that pyramid shape has a spiral in the middle, and that is the spiral of creation. It's almost the wisdom codes of creation, kind of like the DNA that is within ourselves. And that spiral is connected to the earth womb, and that spiral at the same time is connected to the cosmos of creation. And I was plugging in our hearts into that spiral. And for me, this is a practice that I actually do it daily, but in this specific constellation and with this specific land, it also felt very potent to energetically be able to, yeah, to whatever extent everybody chose. This is not up to me then, but they are connected. And they can retrieve the codes from the lands or from the sea if they so choose. And again, like just having this connection, because sometimes it wasn't so easy in the 3D, but making sure that in the subtle realms with our higher selves, there is a heart-to-heart connection happening. And things also can be sorted out, even if, yeah, it is difficult and you're having, you're not agreeing on things, and there is things that need to be solved on a vacation that usually, don't come up like in daily life or so. And so I just want to share some of my practices to really let you know that it is totally possible to, when you have that desire to have that deep, deep experience, to not get caught up in this outward touristy distractions, but to really have your inner inquiry and to hold your inner strength and like center point to create connection, because it's really all about how do we connect and how do we relate to the land, to the people, to our loved ones. And so I just want to say, you are a master of the net. And this is one of the things that I was really told, or that this vacation told me, was that we have a choice point, and it is my choice to make this a conscious, sacred travel experience, while it is also a family holiday where we are just having fun. So one does not exclude the other. And I want to give you another example. So we had this one day trip that we went out, just what's behind me, into the Red Sea, and we saw dolphins, and we went snorkeling, and just visited this beautiful, magnificent sandbank. The colors were just amazing, like the blue of the water and the sky, and the white sand and the beach. And for the kids, it was a lot of fun seeing the dolphins and also the snorkeling. Like the snorkeling is really amazing. The fish, the corals, the colors, it's just wow. And so that was one layer in a way. And not to say that I did not have fun. I did have a lot of fun. And the next layer for me was that I had this experience with the dolphins where they literally like showed me that there is these crystal palaces in the sea, and not just in the Red Sea, but actually all over the oceans of the planet, whether you're holding these the crystalline wisdom that is going back to Atlantis, and where the Atlantean technologies were brought into these temples and are still stored there. And the dolphins are the messengers, and at the same time they are like the guardians of these template structures that are under the water. So I really had this profound, beautiful experience while at the same time kind of like laughing, and yeah, having like a casual conversation and nibbling a fruit platter on this boat. And at one point, I really started laughing at myself because traversing these realms and traversing these worlds really also took me some time to get there, and to have these experience in such a kind of like casual, normal environment. It had a level of absurdity to it for myself as well, I have to say. And at the same time, it was just amazingly beautiful. And then after, of course, I took some time to journal on it. But again, like coming back to the point that it is absolutely possible that you can peak, and not only peak, but you can actually walk on the other side of that veil if you choose to cultivate that connection with the divine, and you don't turn off the divine within yourself while you are on such trips. And it doesn't even have to be a family holiday, right? It can be a weekend trip. It can be a gathering with your family or with your friends or anybody whom you might think who is not holding the same level of consciousness or even desire to go as deep as you want to go. And so how can we better, let's say, create this connection, or how can we navigate the net, and have these expanded states of consciousness and really tune in with our divinity, and have that inform the outward experience that we are having, even more than letting the outward determine our experience. And so I have just observed actually myself what I did. And I want to give you a few tips. They're by no means meant to be working for everybody. They're by no means complete. And I would love to hear from you. How do you create connection? And especially if you are with someone, if you travel with someone, again, who does not necessarily hold the consciousness or the desire to go that deep. So how do you do that? Please let me know in the comments. Please send me an email. I would really love to weave together with you the experience, because it helps all of us. And so, for me, it is super, super important to really have my divine self, as I call it, participate in everything, because I have for a very long time really like closed off that divinity in the closet, and I only let it out in these distinct moments where I felt really safe to share that. And I understand. And also, I am telling you that, there is a way. And please, 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 do not hide your light. Do not hide your divinity, because in the end, it is really the frequency of love that is coming from it, and that is so needed to create this connection versus the separation that we then go into, like even with ourselves, when we separate that the soul or the divine self for a moment. And so, coming to the tips that I want to give you, number one, release all and any expectations. And I am speaking for myself here, of course, because, yeah, spiritual ego, as I like to call it, is a very big thing. And once we have had these profound experiences, like in my case, especially with the Egyptian land, with the history, the Neteru, all of this soul remembrance that is available when we tune into this culture and the codes that are stored. Of course, I want to have this experience for others, and I want them to know how it is. Because, first of all, I want them to know how I feel and to relate to me. And of course, I also know what's possible for me. So I want the same for my loved ones. However, that might not be the path that they choose, that their soul choose. So the releasing the expectations of what will happen in this holiday, or what will happen when you travel together to a certain place and you put your feet on the ground and there is already this electric current running through you, and your partner or your friend might be, yeah, it's quite nice. So yeah, just let it be, whatever it is. And that also ties in with tip number 2. It's allow everyone to really have their own experience, because they will have theirs and you will have yours. And again, it is really helpful for everybody to release any judgment around it and not go into, oh, okay, my experience is actually better because it is deeper or it is more profound or whatever. No. So coming back to the net, you are connected anyways. And everybody in your travel constellation, whether you are going with your children, your partner, your parents, a friend, they will have their experience and you will have yours. And that's fine. And there might be moments that you share, and there might be moments that are not shared yet. And in order to foster this connection, or the moments of shared experience, tip number 3: choose activities that are enjoyable for everyone. So, and also for all different levels of consciousness. So as I was explaining, as I was sharing about the trip that we did, the boat trip with the dolphins, or another one that I really, really love, especially as a grid worker, I love collecting, after permission, of course, collecting pieces that carry the vibration of the land. So at the Red Sea, there is shells, there is, the sand, even a little bit of water. And again, like all with respect to, what are the laws, what you are, what are the laws? Have you received permission from the guardians of the land? And if you do that, it's also a great activity to do, with your kids or with friends and the partner. And for them, it might be a great souvenir. And for you, it is really carrying back home the vibration of this land, of the water, to work further with it, or to like use in other griddings. And the tip number 4 is the invoking the geometric patterns. So that really, really helped me a great deal to anchor in the energies for and of everyone of the constellation, with regards, to like coming back to the hearts and connecting the higher selves. And that also allows, if you like come back to the pyramid shape, and the spiral, there is a twofold way, right? And so everything that needs to be released from the constellation, everything that needs to be released from the single person or in relationship to each other, like goes in the center of the spiral and is being soaked up by Mother Earth right into her crystalline core so that she can transform it, transform the energies into whatever they are most beneficial. And so then there is also from above more space to fill that with light from the cosmos and to fill it and inform it with light from any celestial beings or frequencies from other star nations that want to be held and activated in the body. Let me just think. There was potentially something else. Yeah. Also with regards to the geometric patterns, what I love to do, especially when traveling in a plane or also in the car, I, as a protection means, I invoke Metatron's cube and the star Merkaba, because it has been, or it is an ancient technology to travel, like to time travel and to dimensionally travel. And so by invoking the structure of the star Merkaba, it gives a protection for the vehicle that you are traveling in. And so that is something that I really love to do. So when I enter the plane and just like before starting and before takeoff, that I do, and same with the car. And then tip number 5, that is actually a fun thing, going into the observer seat and really see everything as a training ground. So for me, if you are able to channel this information or to have these heightened state of awareness and visions or like messages, whatever your clairs are, in this noisy environment full of distractions, and the practice of it, right? Coming into the practice, so that you will hear as clear or you will see as clear as if you were in your meditation practice solo at home. And so it is much more easy for you to really witness also the sacredness in every aspect of your life and to authentically move between these worlds and these realms. And like, again, coming back to that piece of the connection to really, really see and feel how we are all connected, and how when even there is an experience that you are repelling, that you are neglecting, or when you are in a conversation with someone and you rather want to check out, it is much more easy to really stay present and conscious and stay connected from the heart space to uphold this connection, rather than go into the separation, which ultimately leads to more confrontation. And so my conclusion of this holiday is really that the Red Sea is holding the codes of unity consciousness. Unity consciousness in a way of balancing the polarities of feminine and masculine as representatives for all the polarities that are existing. And of course, like, there is always deeper layers and deeper layers. And if you go like further up, like where the like what countries the Red Sea touches and what is going on in this area of the world has a deep, deep significance for me to just know that the water codes there are holding and supporting the unity consciousness that will ultimately lead to the dissolving of the illusion that there is separation and that we have to other the other. So that is the transmission of the Red Sea, which was very different from what I thought that it would be. But I would love to hear from you. How have your travel experiences been with family or maybe with people, who were seeking out a different experience? Let me know. And I'm sending lots of love to you. May the codes of the Red Sea and this unity consciousness reach you wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in.